So yeah, without any further ado, now I already did this, and remember I said kind of along the way here, there's always a method to my madness. So doing the Orphan Rock and the Nettlebane thing was kind of in preparation for this one, but now if you don't have that unlocked, never fear, you can just warp back to Helgen and just kind of follow the yellow brick road, and we'll meet up kind of like right around here somewhere. Okay, and it looks like the hags have respawned. Ooh, she dodged my arrow there. That would have been a one-hit. Now be careful, you can one-hit your follower when your bow gets strong enough. I probably should have mentioned that. I don't think it's strong enough now to one-hit her, but honestly I don't want to shoot her and find out either. So just be aware along the way here, you know, you can accidentally one-hit your follower. Now that Hrothgar should have also respawned since... everything else did. Okay, I guess she's not back, so it's kind of weird. Unless something else took her out and I just wouldn't, you know... Nope, loot chests are still empty, so this really hasn't technically reset yet, so honestly I don't know what the hags were doing back. And that's okay. A couple extra kills never hurt nobody. Alright, so I'm doing another quick round of soul gem, you know, shopping, buying, selling, etc. So I already hit up this guy, cleaned him out. I need to get all the empties I can get now that I've pretty much crafted through all of what I did have. And guys, remember, it's pronounced Phoenix. Oh, one more thing too, since I got my conjuration up above 30, he should have more spell tombs. Oh, there they are, baby. Okay, so now I really like the bound sword. For one, it's not expensive at all, and for two, you can keep casting that. It doesn't cost a ton of magic. Okay, another speech increase. So yeah, you know, I'm just here to buy soul gems, but at the same time, it still pays off in other dividends. Alright, so here we go with Phoenix again, and once again I am going to get my training going here. And this might just actually put me over for a level up. Close, but no cigar. That's okay, you guys know me. I'm going to start blasting my follower with courage here. If you don't want to wait out your recharge, just simply pass an hour. Alright, but since I went through the trouble to recharge, I'm just going to go ahead and blast her a few more times so I can get ahead for the next go-around. Restoration, there is one perk that I do like here. And that is going to be right up here and to the right, the recovery. Magicka regenerates, you know, 25% faster. So now that's a good one to have too, so I might kind of break off from the conjuring training and just, you know, bump that restoration up a little bit. Just because that Magicka regen is nice to have, I am not going to lie. And there are spells you can cast from restoration that really help the skill. Well, all the healing stuff, of course. You know, you can cast that on yourself and your follower. Turn. Okay, so I'm going to buy that too. Reason being is you can cast that, you know, repeatedly in a dungeon with a bunch of undead, no matter what that might be. It's usually Droger for me. And that'll bump that skill up without having to come over here and deal with the training. Okay, don't forget to always read your spell tombs. So I'm actually going to favorite those as well. So the bound sword, again, that's for leveling purposes. Because you can keep recasting that if you're in active combat, and that'll bump your conjuration skill up while you're, you know, just kind of waiting for your followers to kill everything. And if you want those other two vendors, Tolfdir is one of their names, and I can't remember, there's a dark elf up there who only deals at night upstairs. So if you want them to open up their stores to you... Okay, so if you really want, you can actually kickstart this little mini quest over here. And that's the guy, by the way, the old guy standing in the back. So he's going to go through this thing, and it's kind of time intensive, so I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to hold off until I really start doing mage stuff. But, you know, that'll kind of start like a little first aid training side quest. And now I'm going to try to see if I can access his store. I cannot. Okay, so as soon as I got within range, it went straight to, you know, what I was trying to avoid. Alright guys, so I'm not going to do this right now. I'm going to reload a save and just kind of go away. But I just kind of wanted to point that out. Now, he's going to give you a free spell, and you're going to have to cast that on him. But this is kind of finicky, so you might have to play with that a while. And he's going to tell you where to stand. Make sure you're standing on the center of whatever symbol he tells you to stand on. And again, you might have to cast it on him a few times, but sooner or later it's going to progress. And then, you know, the party will kind of break up. And then you'll be able to access his store and the Dark Elf store. Alright, so now that's all done and out of the way. It's time to get started with what we're all here for, which is the getting to Ivarstead in preparation for our long journey up to the top of High Hrothgar. Now, the reason I did all that soul gem shopping, guys, is there's a path you can follow here, and there's bears, deers, goats, just all sorts of soul gem filling stuff. Mostly petty, but a lot's going to be lesser in common too. Maybe even a greater here and there. I'm not really sure yet. We'll find out once we get going. Not only that, there's a couple of loot caves. Just a lot of fun to be had, guys. Alright, so this is about where we'd be meeting up right now, just to kind of show you on the map exactly where I'm at. And now there is another cave along the way here, but we're not going to go in there. That bleeds over into another quest from Falkreath, where the dog wants to talk to you and kind of take you in there. And guys, that's no-go. That's quest breakage territory there, so I thought I'd spit that out, as soon as I could. Because, me and my shiny rock syndrome, I might forget to say something later. There are some free loose lootables on the way up here, but not real thick. You might find a stray flower here and there, but overall, not a whole lot going on here. Now, this is something that we haven't covered yet in my game, so I'm kind of glad I am here. So yeah, loose lootable stuff, that's probably about it. But notice right to my right here, that little paw print. So that's a Stormcloak camp. It's like a war village or something. Now, because we're neutral in the game, it's safe to approach either a Stormcloak camp or an Imperial camp. And you can actually do, just like any other city, there's different vendors here. For example, there should be a smith. There should be an alchemist at some of these. I think she's the smith. The quartermaster is the smith.
Take a look.
Okay, now I don't have any sparks damage unenchanted yet, so I am going to grab that. Reason being, when I get to Solstheim, there's a weapon that does all three, but if you don't have one of the three unlocked, it doesn't work quite right. So because I don't have anything else, sparks or anything yet, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to eat the weight here at this point and get the sparks weapon. Good news is, at least it's cheap. So again, this just kind of opens up your options, for fast traveling around to do a whole bunch of buying, selling, crafting, etc. Okay, now there should be loot chests at these two. That will not get you in trouble, but I can't promise all of them, so pay attention to the red wording, for that steel warning. Okay, now I'm not sure... I'm not sure if there's an alchemist at this one. I'm not seeing one. So moving right along, guys, I'm going to get right back on path down here. And there should be another little loot spot up here off on the left. Again, nothing crazy, but something something. Okay, coin purse right there by the skeleton bones. I think that's it here. If there's a bump book or something, I am not seeing it. Alright folks, getting right back on main road here. And take a left, continuing on up the trail. And anytime you're in the snow region, it's a good moment to stock up on the snowberries. And if you get a good amount of them, you can kind of taper back, but what I like to do is dump them off back at the central storage house. And that way, anytime I need to do potion crafting, I know I've always got plenty of snowberries ready to rock and roll. Okay, guys, that cave is right in front of me. Hamar's Shame or whatever. So yeah, just go ahead and stay out of there. I highly recommend, just waiting for that dog quest from Falkreath. I did break this quest once, and the only thing I can think of that I did wrong was I went in here not knowing any better, and, I killed whatever was in there, and... yeah, I had a big problem with that quest line. Okay, this is new in our game.
At last, a worthy opponent!
Look at the horse go!
Just give up, you can't win! Enough!
So you can go ahead and grab that if you want. This is going to activate a quest. Now these guys will approach you randomly, you know, it may or may not be here. It can literally happen anywhere. But guys, this is one of those quest lines I personally don't enjoy playing. So I'm going to be upfront about that right now. I will get through it in a video in the future, just, you know, because I'm doing a walkthrough. But you have to kill an innocent person, and it just makes me feel squeamish. So, you know, if you've kind of got something against dark-themed type quest lines, this may not be the one for you.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years.
Okay, this is just a regular hunter, and some of these are also vendors.
Take a
Normally they don't have anything great, you know, you might find some arrows, you know, some random something or other, but they always have pelts. See, I like to check them out, especially earlier game when I like, you know, building up my pelt stockpile. Okay, so the nice thing about this is you really can't get lost. It's linear, so, you know, this canyon cave thing that we're in, whatever canyon, there's really no wrong way to go. So I'm just going to kind of get some free lootables here and meet you guys back on the other side, just to show you on the map where I'm at. And we're going to pop out right down around here, and there's some goodies there too. So yeah, we'll come back online here in just a moment. I always take the time to get the goats killed, guys, not only for the soul gems, but for the goat horns, goat hides, and mostly the goat horns, though. That's, you know, for house building. But of course, you don't always get the horns, so it's between getting the soul gems and the hides, really, most of the time. Okay, so it's starting to open up now. You can see that's the snow canyon, whatever. There's this kind of concrete archway. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of show you guys what's what. Now, there are some more free lootables around here. But, yeah, that icon showing up on my compass right now, that's a nice little alchemy loot spot. Just about everything I like to cook with is in that one little shack. It's not, you know, in a big quantity. It's like onesies and twosies. But still, it's a nice little find. I was just kind of hiking around one day. I was like, huh, I wonder what's in there. And I was like, oh, I use that, I use that. Pretty nice little find there. And do check these white trees. Sometimes they're on, you know, the ones that are actually in the ground. And sometimes they're on the ones that have been fallen over. But those mushrooms are a good ingredient. And I think that one was for... Honestly, I can't remember right now, but... God, I just crafted it in my last video. Okay, so enough about that. It even says Alchemist Shack. Now, guys, go ahead and take any kind of thing you find in a jar. And make sure you get those home and get them stored. And honestly, I'm still trying to figure out what in the heck those are for. I've never found a quest or anything that's required it, so I just always make sure I have it somewhere. That way, if I ever do come across it, you know, I'm ready to go. So yeah, lots of little hiding spots for this stuff. And sometimes I have to go in and out of first person, you know, to be able to grab things. Okay, same thing with the journals, guys. I always take them, you know, take them home. This way, if there's ever a quest for anything like that, you know, I'm ahead of the game. And I didn't accidentally sell it or drop it somewhere. Anything can happen. Oh, a gentleman's guide to anything? Always open those up. Sometimes they'll mark some kind of, you know, thing on your map. Okay, if there's a bump pick here, I'm just not seeing it. So I must have the shack mistaken. Okay, just about everything here is some kind of alchemy ingredient. Spiky grass, we'll be getting lots of those when we get to Solstheim. Ew, blue butterfly wings. I was just talking about needing more of those. Nice. Some Jazz Bay grapes down there. Real hard to see. It's like that leafy looking stuff with berries in it. And I think that's pretty much it for this little loot spot. Not a bad deal, yo-yo. Okay, so from here we literally just need to head straight north. Now there's another cave, and that is free to loot. You don't need to worry about having a quest for this one. And guys, on that subject, you know, I've been kind of cautioning you guys, especially you new players, you know, the advice I was giving, don't go into places unless you had a quest for it. Now that you've gotten kind of, you know, into the game a little bit and you've gotten your feet wet, I'm going to give you a little bit different advice now. And yes, that advice still holds, you know, for the most part, but a lot of these bandit caves, like, you know, just random caves or castles or whatever that just has, you know, everyday ordinary bandits in it. Normally those are safe. There might be an exception or two. You know, one comes to mind when you're doing the quest line where that guy is imprisoned by the elves, and you have to kind of break into the castle and break him out. That's way later, but yeah, that castle, you know, I wouldn't go in there before you have a quest line, and that's way, way, way north. God, I don't even know where it is. It's way the heck up here somewhere, though. Pretty close to the actually, I think it's kind of close to the vampire lair. So probably up around here somewhere-ish. You know, I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, that is a fort castle. And but the giveaway to those when they're not safe is if you're in there. That's why I always say, guys, drop that hard save before you do any kind of raid. So while you're in there, if you come across anything named, you know, that can be an item in a chest, it can be a loose item, it can be a bandit leader that, you know, that might have a name. Any kind of thing that has a proper name. You know, Davy Crockett's axe, or Daniel Boone, you know, camp leader. Any kind of proper name like that, go ahead and reload that save and just come back later. So that'll keep you safe about 99% of the time. Now, there's also some other exceptions, you know, like, for example, there's one quest that you can absolutely get that tells you to go into a dungeon, and then you go in there and you do the dungeon, and then you can hard break a quest. And I honestly can't remember what the dungeon name is now, but it's the one that has King Olaf's verse in it. So you can actually get like a shout side quest from, you know, a letter from a friend, and that'll send you to that dungeon, and then while you're in there, you're like, oh, King Olaf's verse, I wonder what that's all about. As soon as you grab that book, guys, it's game over. So that's why I say anything named. I would just wait until you get the quest telling you to go in there and get that. And like I said, that should keep you safe most of the time. Okay, so here's that cave I've been talking about, and this one's just, you know, pretty low threat, a couple of bears. Oh, and also in this region, you can search beehives, get some honeycomb. Now, those weigh a freaking pound, so careful, you know, that can add up fast. But, you know, it is more alchemy ingredients, so I grab a couple here and there, and then I usually just get them stored, and I've got them if I need them. Not only that, you can scoop up the bees that are flying around. I'm having issues right now locking on, but... Okay, I just heard a bear, I think? Or not. Okay, anyway, there's going to be bears in here, so rock and roll.
Huh?
Look at that, guys. We're two-shotting bears now. How many did that take before? I mean, that was from sneaked position, but still, not bad. I don't mind taking a little damage, because again, that helps with your light armor skill. Yeah, I think it's just the two, actually. So like I said, pretty low threat. Okay, that is a bump book. So I do keep those for selling to mages. Now I've got that perk unlocked for, you know, sell anything to any vendor. So what I'm going to do with those now is store them. So that when I do go legendary on my speech skill and reset that, I've got plenty back at home that I can sell to mages until I get it back up to 50 to unlock that perk again. And I absolutely, wholeheartedly recommend y'all do the same thing. Especially if you know you're going to keep wanting to do character leveling after you get some of these individual skills upgraded. Okay, don't forget your hanging moss. There's actually a couple of things hanging down here. Unfortunately, I am overweight. I don't think I talked about this yet. I am doing the Way of the Voice. This is main quest. It's not all this other mist stuff, you know, I'm just going to make sure they're all turned off, and they are. And that should, you know, give you a real good quest marker right now. Alright, so as soon as you exit the cave, go ahead and just continue heading north, and you're going to run right into the village here. Now guys, on that note, you know, this being the main quest, this is where you're going to get approached by, you know, enemies coming out of the woodwork, and you're going to find that note that tells you to go to Solstheim. But again, we don't want to go there until we're level 36, guys. That's the magic number for Solstheim. Reason being is some of the quests don't work until you're level 36. Deathbrand comes to mind. So, you know, amongst other things. So, you know, just level 36 has absolutely got to be the magic number right now. Alright, so just like any other town, village, etc., there are plenty of free lootables here. And guys, as part of this video... Actually, no, I'll do this in a breakout video. There's a dungeon that's right here, and it's really fun to do and stuff. You can talk to the innkeeper here, and, you know, they'll tell you something about the dungeon, whatever that is, the barrow. And then, you know, they'll go ahead and send you on in there. You go in there the first time, you come back out with something. I think it's a journal or something. And then the bartender tells you, oh, wow, this is what's really going on. You know, please go back in there, whatever you offer to. I can't remember how it works. But then you go back in there, and there's another part to that quest line. It's pretty fun, though. Alright, guys, now there is a side quest here that we can do, but the girl wants, like, 10 bear pelts or something. So, you know, I don't even know if I've got that many on me, but if I do, I'll go ahead and open her up for you.
This has to be the worst place in Skyrim to run a... Are you kidding?
Ask her if she's having a bear problem.
Bring me 10 of their pelts from anywhere.
Okay, and it tells me straight up I've got 0 out of 10, so not doing too good. I could have sworn I had some in my inventory, but must not be the one she was looking for. Oh no, that's right, I dumped them all on my follower, because I was overweight. And the cool thing is it can be literally any kind of bear pelt. It doesn't have to be like just plain old bear pelt. It can be, whatever, you know, Arctic bear pelt, cave bear pelt, etc. And unfortunately, it looks like that's all I've got. Now, don't worry. I think the reason they give you this quest here is on the way up to High Hrothgar, there's going to be tons and tons of bears.
You ever settle down to have children?
Okay, there are some more free lootables in town here, just like any other village. Get your chickens, eggs. And I completely ran myself out of wheat. And I've got a few giant's toes I need to cook into those potions. But I couldn't do it because I didn't have the wheat. So yeah, gotta make sure I'm scooping that up. Okay, now there might be another side quest or so here. Now, see, I have wheat to not. I want to do that. Normally I would, you know, for making Thane. But I only would want to give her one anyway, so worst case, I guess I can give my follower a bunch and then just sell her the one. And she wants cabbage too, which is cool, because that's right here.
Else does. And to think that we've been supplying the Greybeards with our honest pay for honest work. Sure, leave. Everyone else does.
Okay, anytime you get rid of something, you always scoop up a few more.
Lot. Don't really know too much about them.
Okay, go ahead and talk to her, and go ahead and sweet talk her. I think that bumps your standing in the region also.
It only costs 5 gold.
So go ahead and use the persuade skill there.
That's so sweet of you.
Okay, sometimes you'll see this wine for sale. Again, I don't have any idea what it's for. I just always make sure I've got one in case I ever find a reason to need it. Same thing with the sweet rolls. Those can go to your kids as gifts. Okay, now that's going to be just, you know, find the bandit leader of X, whatever, Y or Z. But I'm not going to do that in this region. Reason being is if you've got an active quest for the Jarl, whether that be from a local barkeep or, you know, the Jarl himself, and I'm not sure which region we're in here. I think it's the... I think it's either the Riften... You know, honestly, it could be any one of these three. I'm not sure. But anyway, if you have any kind of kill the bandit leader at blah, 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 that's going to block you from getting a side quest over here at Duck something Crossing. It's a miner's camp, and there's a follower I want there, but she makes you do a quest first. So if you've got a lingering quest in her hold to kill the bandit leader somewhere, she'll just be broken until you get that quest knocked out and you go to whatever Jarl it belongs to, and you clear that bandit quest. Only then will you be able to go back to Duckwater Crossing, I think it's called, and talk to that follower, Arcane or something her name is, Anarchy or something, I can't remember. Anyway, moving on.
Change.
Okay, now this is that other quest about the barrow.
Look, I
So I'll just go ahead and activate it now, and when I come time to do that video, then I'll just kind of walk people through this part of it. Offer to investigate it for him.
Anything you can do.
Good to go. Alright, now that I've got pretty much everything done here that I need to do, that NPC over there, ignore that NPC. That's going to be part of some other quest. The one across the river anyway. That's going to be the Brotherhood stuff. For right now, we're looking for this Chemic character. What types of deliveries do you make to High Hrothgar? Go ahead and offer to take him, take his stuff up to the top.
Well, it's kind of
Since we're going up there anyway, you might as well. Offer to do it for him.
Here, take this bag of supplies. At the top of the steps.
Okay, and that'll activate the quest, bring the supplies to High Hrothgar. And guys, with that, we're off. Now, normally that dude is sitting on the bridge over here talking to another NPC. So, just look for him here. Sometimes he's walking around town. One way or another, you need to get him talked to so you can get that quest done. Now, before we actually go up the stairs here, I'm going to deviate just a little bit, get some more bear pelts. And some more soul gems. Oh, he's beefy. Okay, I'm halfway up on them bear pelts.
About this.
Maybe it's just the one? Apparently it's just the one. Okay. I don't know. I remember there being more bears around here for that quest. Or maybe I'm thinking, on the way up to High Hrothgar. Whatever that freaking place is called. Okay, there's a bump book in here. Go ahead and grab it. And we're starting to get vigorous and extreme. Now, these are directly linked to our leveling and our health, magic, and stamina as to what kind of potions you start getting. So that's a real good sign that we're well on track with our leveling. Don't forget your corundum. Ruby, baby. Loving it. Okay, that's pretty much it. Just a quick little loot spot. I was really here for the bear pelts, but the other goodies were good too. Okay, there's a hunter here. He might have some pelts on his person. I didn't get him. I think I aimed a little too high. Okay, now, I really don't want to run all the way back over there to see that there may or may not be a goat horn on there, so I don't even know why I did that, to be honest. Alright guys, this is it. Now, on the way up to High Hrothgar, there's going to be an etched tablet, so just go ahead and read those. Now, that's number 1. Emblem 1 at the top of that readout there. You need to get 10 of them, and that'll give you a little present when you get to the top. And they're right on the path, but you'd be surprised how many times I run up here only to, miss one or two and then have to go back down looking for the ones I missed. So I'm going to try to avoid that and get them all, as I go here. Okay, 7 pelts for what's her name, doing good. Otherwise. Alright guys, just follow the stairs, and you'll find NPCs along the way too. Feel free to chat with them, especially if you're new to the game. It's good to talk to the NPCs anyway. You never know if you're gonna miss, a quest or something, but honestly, especially for that very first playthrough, guys, it's such an immersive game. I wholeheartedly recommend, talking to every single NPC you come across. Go through the dialogue options. If you get a quest, great. If not, you still win. Okay, so I'm sure you noticed I got emblem number 2 there. Okay, now I want to pay attention to see what kind of soul gem this dude fills up. You know what? I don't want to kill my follower. I'm going to do this the right way. For me, which is first person. Okay, so it was not greater, it was not lesser, which means it was common. Okay, so that answered that. I wasn't really sure how the trolls went, especially the frost trolls. Now, I'm kind of curious to see what the bears are too, the snow bears. Oh, that thing's about to kill me. Okay, that's down to 13, so that's common as well. Oh, great time for healing, guys, so check this out. I keep talking about this for, leveling purposes. You're basically trading magic for health, but that does work on that restoration skill, as you just saw. Not a bad deal. And you can cast out on your follower, too, if you know they're low. But honestly, sometimes it's hard to figure out where their health is, which I really hate. I wish you could just look at their stats somewhere, but it just doesn't work that way. Normally, if they're low, though, there will be kind of like a bar above their head somewhere with their name. But that's what Healing Hands is for. It's like for other people.
Are you a priest?
Okay, but for now I'm just going to continue on path. Now I've only got 2 emblems so far. It's starting to make me wonder if I didn't miss one somewhere. So whenever I do see one, I'll go ahead and make sure it's number 3. Okay, case in point. Number 3 indeed. We are right on track. Here you come to like this weird, down and up area. Okay, number 4 should be right below. I want to say there's another baddie around here somewhere. Oh, there's another NPC too.
Yeah?
Check that out. Okay, now there should be another troll or something around here, I thought. Actually, I think he's coming up. I love how they sidestep like that. It's like, really? Okay, I'm looking for emblem number 5, right by that troll. There it is. Now, unfortunately, there's no quest to this, so, it's not like you can just check your menu and see where you're at with it. You just kind of have to keep mental track of what number you left off on. That way, if you skip a number, you know, you can kind of backtrack a little bit until you find the emblem that you missed. I would actually love to see Bethesda completely remake this game. Use a modern graphics engine, make it look like legit, you know, like modern day video game. God, I can't imagine what this game would be if they went, you know, if they did that. And I'm sorry, but people are still buying this game, you know, so why wouldn't they do that? I don't get it. And, you know, while you're at it, can you fix all the glitches, please? That would be freaking amazing. Okay, here's one that I do typically tend to miss, just because it's off to the side, and as you're running by, you know, it can just look like, you know, a rock formation or something. So, yeah, good times. This is another one I can, you know, miss. Just stroll right by. Okay, so far so good. We're up to number 8. I have a feeling the last 2 are pretty visible. Uh-oh, I missed one. This is number 10, I think. Nope, that's number 9. Okay, whew! Okay, there's number 10. That's right. I forgot there was one literally right by the castle. Okay, now check it out. Voice of the Sky added. Animals will neither attack you nor flee from you. So now, it's kind of a pain in the butt because you have to go through and hit all 10 emblems again every time you want this superpower. And the bad thing is it's only 24 hours, so by this time tomorrow it's gone. But, you know, for the purposes of the walkthrough, I did want to kind of throw that out there. It is kind of a nice, fun thing to have, especially when you're dealing with animals, you know, like animal-infested areas. Alright, guys, so we have arrived at High Hrothgar. Now, go ahead and dump those supplies into this bucket here, or this chest. I think it starts with a K, Kimmel Supplies. That's what you're looking for. Just go ahead and store that, and that will automatically clear that quest. Oh, we don't clear it actually until we talk to the quest giver once more, but that's all we have to do as far as the quest is concerned. Alright guys, so now we're going to pop right in here. And as soon as you do, there's going to be some stuff going on. So I'm going to actually make the followers stand kind of out of the way for now. And guys, this is probably a real good save that game spot.
I'm right behind you.
Just tell her to wait here and she should stay right there. Problem is, sometimes she gets tangled up in all this stuff that's going on in the middle. And I've had it cause a problem before, and I had to kind of reload and do the whole thing all over again. Alright, so the game is going to kind of take over here. And, you know, get through the dialogue options however you wish.
We will see if you...
Okay, so now that unrelenting force shout that I talked about, you know, earlier on in the walkthrough, that's what they want to hear. So simply go to your shouts. I don't have that thing favorited because I don't like using it.
Strike us with the
Okay, go ahead and fire away.
Dragonborn. It is we commune.
But at this point, you have to get through all the dialogue options.
We are on. We will do our best to teach you how to. That is for you to discover. We can show
Once you
you
get through,
the way.
excuse me, all the rest, I'm ready to learn.
You have shown, but without training, gives you an.
And again, guys, I just wanted to kind of throw it out there one more time. Please take the time, especially on your first playthrough, to listen to all this spoken dialogue. It's such an immersive game. I feel like I have to kind of, you know, say that from time to time. Alright, now this dude is going to throw a word onto the floor. Actually, this is going to happen more than once. When that happens, just kind of stand over it and stare at it. Not from his side of the word, but from, you know, the opposite side of the word. And the good thing is we don't have to use a dragon soul to unlock these that they're teaching us. They give us the automatic unlock with like their own soul power or something. Okay, and there it is. So as soon as that kind of charges me up, it'll say completed. And now they're going to want you to demonstrate it. And guys, I got stuck here. So if this is the reason you're watching the video, I'm going to try to say this in words as best as I can. But honestly, this is kind of tough. So the whatever button you map this to, if you just barely tap it like super quick, like just a super quick tap, that's like the first one there, force. If you kind of hold it down for a split second and then release, that'll hit over to balance, and that's what they want you to cast as balance. So, you might have to kind of play with that a little bit, kind of find, where that magic number is. It might be, it might be a Mississippi. It's probably, even quicker than that, but, I would just kind of like hold it down, let go. Just hold it down a split second there, and that'll carry it over from force into balance. And once we get the third one, then you just really got to hold that button down until it just throws that third one out. Okay, I probably waited too long. The specter went away there. That's okay. Okay, there it is. So I held that down for just a split second. I didn't just tap it. There was a very slight hold there on that bumper. Okay, and they want you to do that twice. Or 3 times, actually.
Strike the targets as they appear.
Okay, assuming you do that right, it'll, progress each time. Alright guys, once you've gotten through that round of training, we're going to head outside. Now, sometimes I run out here, preemptively, and then I'm just standing there forever. Nobody ever comes out, nothing ever happens. So, sometimes I can run out and everything is just fine. Other times I have to run back in here and, like, physically stand here until the guy with the arrow over his head makes it outdoors, and then I can exit the building. So again, just one of those glitchy things I thought I'd, mention. Okay, now that they're all outside, everything should be just fine. Okay guys, once again, we're going to be going through some more training here. And in case you're wondering what that's all about, we're not there yet. That's way later in the game. So if you try to go up there, you're just going to keep getting blasted, to your health and stuff. It's not passable right now. Okay, so once again, we've got a word of power we need to learn here. Go and stand in front of it.
Before you can project it into a thumb.
Okay, once you've got the sulfur, the unlock, they're going to move you over here. Of course, we got to wait for the game to make it to that point. Okay, so go ahead and equip the whirlwind shout. Okay, so if the arrow's over there, you're good.
Your quick mastery of a new theme of the voice.
And he is another critical character. And guys, anytime there's a critical character, always, empty out all their dialogue options. Now, that retrieve the horn of whatever, we don't have to talk to him for a quest per se. That's kind of automatic in the game. But, I always, I've had issues in the past where if I didn't clear dialogue options, quests wouldn't work right. So just as a general rule, especially for these critical NPCs that are, more consistent quest givers, always get through every single dialogue option that they offer. And sometimes you have to go into the same one more than once to clear the other ones that are in there. Alright guys, now I think I'm like 1 freaking bear pelt shy from, finishing that other side quest, but, it's easy peasy. Once we get it, we'll just go back to that quest giver in that town down there, and, unload those bear pelts, give them back to her, and actually it's over here, Ivarstead. And then I'll, find that other quest giver for taking the supplies up into that treasure chest. Bada bing, bada bang. So folks, I genuinely hope that helped you guys out with the quest line here. If you found it informative and, enjoyable, please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Always appreciated. And folks, as always, until the next time, best of luck and happy hunting.